Today, we pit Settlers of Catan against Ticket to Ride in a battle to decide which is the best gateway board game of all time. Will it be the classic game of trading, building, and settling, or will it be the game where players build railroads across the United States? Let's find out. Gateway games are easy for new players to learn, but also introduce the idea that board games can have deep and complex strategies. They act as a gateway from traditional games like Monopoly to modern games like Agricola. Now, let's look at the competitors. Settlers of Catan, first published in 1995, pits players against each other as they build civilizations on a hex-based island that's randomized at the start of each game. Each new settlement gives players access to more resources, which are distributed according to die rolls at the start of each player's turn. Players can trade resources with other players and then use those resources to build roads, settlements, cities, or development cards. Players gain 1 victory point per settlement and an additional victory point each time they upgrade a settlement to a city. The game ends when one player wins by collecting 10 victory points. Published about a decade after Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride pits players against each other as they attempt to build the most impressive rail network in the United States. Players typically spend their turn collecting cards from the card queue. They can also claim rail lines by discarding cards according to the length and color of the track. Each track gives players points determined by its length. It may also let them complete secret ticket cards, which are worth bonus points at the end of the game. The game ends when one player runs low on trains. Then, players tally their points and determine the winner. So, which is better? Settlers of Catan has two main advantages. One, the always shuffled board gives players the illusion that they'll never play the same game twice. But that illusion breaks down when players realize that each configuration falls into a distinct archetype. 2. Settlers of Catan uses dice, which can make the game feel a little more accessible for players who have only played Monopoly. Ticket to Ride also has two main advantages. First, the game swaps dice for cards. Cards feel familiar for Monopoly players, but they also take a lot of randomness out of the game. Second, Ticket to Ride uses an endgame trigger that's not tied to someone winning. This increases the odds that all players will feel like they have a chance of winning right until the last point is tallied. So, who's our winner? While Settlers of Catan deserves enormous respect for opening the world of board games to millions of players, Ticket to Ride is a slightly better game. It demands a little more strategy than Settlers of Catan while still being easy for new gamers to understand. So, Ticket to Ride is our Board Game Throwdown champion for Best Gateway Game. Disagree? Make your case in the comments for why Settlers of Catan should be considered the best gateway game of all time.